Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Rich Clark and I've been a hypnotherapist for the last 9 years. I've been a holistic therapist for the last 15 years. So as I usually talk about fears and phobias, I'm going to carry on about the top 100 fears and phobias. And as I've just spoken about depression this week, I'm going to talk about the fear of everything. And this is called Panophobia or Pantophobia. And it's number 44 on the list of the top 100. So Panophobia, or the fear of everything, might sound bizarre. And it does exist in the list of non-specific phobias. It is known by other names like Omniphobia and Pantophobia. Panto stands for all, for, or everything in the Greek language, and the Panophobia also have originated from the Greek god Pan. This deity is believed to cause feeling of panic or anxiety. So it's quite interesting, the Pan god, and I understand that the idea of Peter Pan, which is actually seen as the youthful god, is quite an interesting idea. So Panophobes or Panophobics are those they know tend to suffer from one or more different kinds of phobias, I've covered many times on this channel. They remain in a constant state of fear, believing that the persistent evil or something terrible is about to happen, and this is why I think it's very linked to depression. Naturally, having this condition can be detrimental to one's success and can deeply impact one's day-to-day life. I will also be talking about the fear of fear and also the fear of being alone as well, because depression is also about the fear of being alone, or actually fear of success and fear of commitment. It goes into loads of different things. So the causes of panophobia, as mentioned before, panophobia can be triggered by several other phobias. So the intense anxiety or fear that something terrible is about to happen can be triggered by negative news, a negative event, or traumatic episodes in the past. And that's why when we look at things on the news, we have to be very careful that, and also it sometimes does trigger people to find out where their issues are. The person might actually turn into a panophobic or a panophobic individual where they might fear anxiety itself. This becomes a vicious cycle as the panophobe believes that their condition can turn into something worse, therefore intensifying the symptoms of all other phobias. And this is where we call hypochondriacs also happen as well. Hypo meaning extended, and chondriac meaning hypochondriac is contradicting what is actually really wrong with them. So, often causes of panophobia, fear of everything, are difficult to trace since the panophobic cannot remember how it all started. Nobody is born with this phobia. The brain just learns to fear everything negative or that what it perceives as being dangerous, and this is the fight or flight syndrome, which is linked to the sacral, which is the connection to others, and it's also linked to our adrenal glands. So the fear of everything can be different for many different people, but generally increases over time, and the sufferer can end up with hundreds of phobias, thus making it very intangible or tangible items in situations. So if you get someone who's a fear of everything, they are usually a long client, and that is not someone you can deal with in 2 to 3 sessions. However, if you find the actual crux of it, usually it will actually be a domino effect and stop them having more issues. And then you can get to the nitty-gritty of that within the subconscious. That's where hypnotherapy would usually help with that. So the symptoms of fear of everything is the person suffering from this will suffer from various physical and psychological symptoms, including dizzy or fainting, heart palpitations, rapid breathing, sweating, avoidance behaviour, goosebumps, crying or screaming, and depression. These sufferers also experience an adrenal rush as they are constantly on full-time alert. They may be followed by a period of fatigue or crash that leaves them drained. Overcoming panophobia, this is good news for them suffering from panophobia. It is a curable condition, and many therapies like hypnotherapy or gradual desensitization, which is we do as a hypnotherapist or a psychotherapist, are known to help. Most therapists use gradual desensitization to slowly reintroduce the phobic to objects or situations that they're afraid of. When done in a controlled environment, the phobic generally learns to dispel their fears. They also learn to rationalize fearful or anxious thoughts into positive ones. In other extreme methods, the panophobia generally is given adrenal boost and then given through the fear response caused by a particular situation. This helps the phobic avoid the fight or flight response that their mind is constantly attuned to the account of perceived danger all around. Energy therapies like mind-body yoga, Tai Chi, meditation, breathwork and pranayama, positive visualization or affirmations are also encouraged as part of the overall therapy for treating panophobia. And NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, is another beneficial therapy which comes from the background of hypnotherapy that can help the phobic become more aware of how the brain creates its reality. This can help the panophobe Panophobic overcome the preconceived notions. As part of all therapies, the phobic should also try and convince the mind to look beyond the logic of issues. Doing so can be very beneficial in working through their panophobia. And if you are, before I leave, and if you are interested or you do have a fear of anything or have a negative mindset and you want to actually work with this as going into 2025 to improve your life, I recommend you can have a free consultation with me and we can look at a program which works for you, and I have seen this and through my experience can help you with this. If you are interested in contacting me, please message me through any of these videos. You see this on these formats of LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube or Facebook. And if once you message me, I'm quite happy to give you my contact details of my email address, but here it is richclarkcoach@gmail.com, and then we can set up a free consultation and then work out the best program for you, or even some free techniques to sort the solution out on the very basic level if you are struggling. Anyway, until next time, speak to you soon.